My name is Anne Owen and I am the Registrar of Births, Deaths and Marriages. Welcome and thank you for making the time to watch our online marriage registration service demonstration. The Births, Deaths and Marriages project team are excited to have finally reached this point, and we hope that as the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted and we head into spring and summer, you will be comfortable using the OMRS. The requirements of the Commonwealth Marriage Act of 1961 has driven the system design, although we have worked closely with the developer to try and make the system as simple to use as possible. We also engaged with several Tasmanian celebrants who kindly gave up their time to undertake testing and provide feedback during the development stage. I anticipate some of you may want to suggest further improvements. I welcome any feedback as we intend to periodically review and update the system. Indeed, we do anticipate that the OMRS will need to be updated in the not too distant future, as the Commonwealth Attorney General's Department are planning to make some changes to the existing marriage forms. Once these are confirmed, the OMRS will be updated. I will now hand over to Tony Dam, Senior Births, Deaths and Marriages Registration Officer, to give you the practical demonstration of how the system works. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, and welcome everyone. Today, we will provide you with a step-by-step demonstration on using the online marriage registration service. We will show you how to complete the following tasks: register for an account, create a new marriage record, print a NOIM or certificate of marriage, submit a marriage to Births, Deaths and Marriages, order a marriage certificate, and search marriages you have submitted. We'll also explain the layout of the application and some of the features included in the online system throughout the demonstration. Let's get started. The easiest way to navigate to the online marriage registration service is from the BDM website homepage. As you can see from our homepage, we offer a number of online services. To get to the marriage online registration service, you select Register a Marriage. First off, you're taken to an introduction page for the marriages online service. And you also have available to download quick reference guides that will help you perform and complete tasks within the online marriage registration service. These can be downloaded in Word format, printed, and followed to complete those tasks. Now we'll click on the Register Marriages Online button to take us to the login page so that we can register for an account to start using the system. So as a first-time user, you will need to register for an account. To do this, you can click on Please Register here, or alternatively, Register for an account below. We'll just flick over to the test system now so that we can show you how to register for an account. So the details you'll need to provide is your email address that is on file with Births, Deaths and Marriages, your celebrant registration number, and your surname. As you can see, we've already typed those details in. Once you have entered your account details, make sure that you take the time to read any privacy information before agreeing to use the service. You should receive the following message: registration complete. You will receive an email that contains your logon details, which is your email address and a temporary password. So let's go and show you what the email looks like. Okay, so now that you have that temporary password, simply copy that return to the online marriage service, and return to the login page. You'll need to re-enter your email address. And paste that temporary password. So you'll need to choose a permanent password. And proceed to the reset password button. Okay, now that your password has been updated, you will automatically be logged in to the system. Now you can see you've arrived at the home page for online marriage registration services. So from the home page, you'll see pending marriages. These are the marriages that you've created, but they have not yet happened, and you may have a number of marriages pending, waiting to be registered. Recently submitted marriages. So any marriages that you have submitted to Births, Deaths and Marriages will appear in a table below here. This will show your most recent 5 marriages that you've submitted to Births, Deaths and Marriages. Off to the side menu, you have the Home button, which returns you to this page at any time. You've got the New button to create a new marriage record. Search marriages, so any marriages that you've previously submitted, you can use this function to search those marriages, which will provide useful once you've used the system for some time and you start to build that list of marriages that you've submitted. You can search those in that on that page. My Account button, so that takes you to your account details, where you have the option of updating just your very basic contact details such as address, contact details, email address, and the ability to reset your password. And the Sign Out button. Okay, so we'll proceed to create a new marriage record by clicking on the New button. So now you can see the first page, marriage details. This page requires details of party 1, party 2, time and date of the proposed marriage. Across the top here, you've got the 4 main pages of information that you'll need to complete. So party 1 details, party 2 details, and then celebrant information such as identification cited and any other information that's required. To the side, you've got the menu again, and as you can see, there's a few more options to choose from. You have a Save button, a NOIM Print button, a Marriage Certificate button, Print button, and the option to cancel the marriage record. Okay, so we'll begin by entering some of the information of the marriage details. When you enter any dates, you do have the option of the date picker to the right. you can manually overwrite that by just typing in the marriage date, as you can see there. It is a good idea to save the record early on in case you run into any unexpected internet issues. The marriage record can be saved once Party 1, Party 2 surnames and date of marriage have been entered. This is when the Save button becomes active and you can then save this record. So we'll go ahead and save the record now. And now it's grayed out because we've saved that. Let's continue on with the marriage time. It is important to follow the time format as it shows you in the brackets here. Otherwise, you may have issues getting past this field if it's entered incorrectly. Day of the week is also from a pick list. So at this stage, while filling out the marriage details, you may only have limited information, or you may have the couple present while you're filling this information out. And it might be that you're only filling out the NOIM at this stage, so you may not necessarily have witness details. So it is possible to leave these fields blank and continue on to the next page. So today we'll just leave this blank and come back to it. And we'll continue on with details of Party 1. Surname is already pre-populated with Smith because we entered this information on the previous page. Surnames will automatically be in capitals. Given names, you do need to type in upper and lowercase. With addresses, so there is an online tool that looks up any addresses that you begin to type in online, so you don't actually have to manually type the full address, suburb, country and postcode. The lookup feature will actually import this for you once you've selected the correct address. So as you can see, I'll begin typing an address, and just behind it you can see it drills down until you want the exact address that you're looking for. So today we'll just pick this one, and it's pre-populated suburb, state, country and postcode. If the address that you're typing in doesn't appear in the lookup online tool, you can manually overwrite this address and enter the details yourself. Okay, so if you're selecting widowed or divorced, you'll notice an additional question appears where you're required to confirm yes. Although you are not required to provide evidence of a death certificate or divorce document, we did want to mirror the Commonwealth marriage forms as much as possible. So you will be required to confirm you have cited these documents. For now, we'll go with never validly married. country fields, again, is a pick list. You can navigate through the list, or you can begin typing the country and it will drill down to the possibilities of what you've typed so far. And continue on to party details of party 2. Just another reminder to read the information messages as they refer to important privacy notes that appear on the marriage documents, and we link to that marriage document for you to be able to click on and view straight away, especially if you've had the couple present. You can click on these links and they can read any information that you would like them to read. This time we'll go ahead and select widowed, and evidence of spouses they're cited. You'll need to tick yes and cite that documentation. If you select divorced or widowed for either party 1 or party 2 to the marriage, an additional page for that party will appear. As you can see in front of you, because we selected widowed for party 2, you're required to enter the details of any previous marriages. If both parties were not previously married, you will not see these fields. So hopefully it simplifies using the online system by skipping any unnecessary fields that you won't need to see and save time. So we'll continue and confirm yes. So at this point, it's a good time to mention that you can print a copy of the NOIM, and you can do this at any time you wish. You may be satisfied that there is enough information entered to print a NOIM ready for signing, or you may choose to complete the rest of the NOIM by hand and upload to BDM. You can print multiple copies or versions of the NOIM throughout the preparation leading up to the marriage. So we'll continue on. So just some additional information to be completed by the celebrant, as well as confirming that both parties' identification have been cited. If you select yes for parties related to each other, an additional field will appear where you'll need to state the relationship. We'll select no. Rights used is a pick list. Commonwealth Marriage Act 1961 being the first one, as it's the most commonly used, and then it proceeds in alphabetical order. Completing the identification section for party 1, you'll need to select one of the identification options and that number associated with the ID. And again, choosing from the list available. So the following question, have you given the document referred to in subsection 42 to party 1? Once again, mirroring the Commonwealth marriage documents, we ask the question, have the couple been given the brochure about marriage and counselling advice that is available to them? If you select no, we also provide that link to the Attorney General's website where you can source that information for the couple, ensuring that they have seen that brochure. So we'll go ahead and select yes to proceed. So that's the end of completing a marriage record. So now you can go ahead and save that. You'll return back to the home page, and now that you can see you have one pending marriage. It appears in a table format showing the surnames of the couple, the proposed date of marriage, a sort icon, so you can sort, if you have more than one marriage, you can sort from either oldest to newest or newest to oldest. The status of the marriage. So currently the status is NOIM incomplete. So that tells us that there is information missing within this marriage record. So there are fields that we haven't yet completed. So before we can actually print a certificate of marriage, this will need to be complete. And before you can submit the marriage to Births, Deaths and Marriages, it will also need to say complete. So to do that, we'll just complete the marriage now. So to go back into the marriage and make any edits, you just need to click on the edit icon. Okay, so to identify any missing information, an easy way to do this is by looking at the above tabs, and you'll notice that any tabs that appear in green means that those pages are complete. There are no missing or any blank fields with missing information. And the marriage tab is currently in red, so that tells us that there are some fields that's missing some information. So we'll just scroll down, looking at all the ticks, that tells us they're complete, and then the crosses, which tells us that these need to be completed. So we might now have witnesses' names that it's closer to the marriage date, and the couple have provided that information, so I'll go ahead and answer that. And then simply scroll back up to the Save button. Okay, so we'll go ahead and show you how to print a NOIM. So all information that you've entered into the online marriage system so far will appear in this document. So you'll need to simply print this record PDF just by hitting the print button, and that is it. To print a marriage certificate, select the marriage certificate print button. And again, information from the online marriage record will appear in this document. Okay, so now we'll show you how to submit the marriage record to Births, Deaths and Marriages. Now that you've completed that information regarding the witnesses, the status is now changed to NOIM complete, and the submit button will now also appear. So we'll click on the submit button. So you're asked the option whether you would like to order a marriage certificate or not. So we'll select yes to show you how that works. You now have to attach the scanned signed copies of the NOIM and certificate of marriage. So make sure that you have these saved on your computer, ready to be uploaded. You also have an additional 3 attachments available. In some scenarios, there may be a requirement to provide the following documents dotted here. Before submitting the marriage, ensure that you're reading any information messages. And then proceed to click on the I agree tick box and submit the marriage. Because you selected yes to ordering a certificate, you are presented with the options to apply for a marriage certificate at our standard processing time or our priority processing time. Once the marriage is registered, the certificate will be sent according to the type of certificate option you've chosen here. So we'll select standard processing time for a marriage certificate and continue next. Delivery options, so where the certificate will be delivered to. You have 3 options. So by selecting Party 1, it populates the following fields from what you've entered in the marriage record itself. This saves you time having to manually enter those details if you're wanting the certificate to go to Party 1. In some cases, both parties may have different addresses, and you can actually select whether you want it to go to Party 1 or Party 2, and the information will populate below. By selecting yes, is the postal address the same as the residential address? The information automatically populates. If you choose to have the certificate sent somewhere else other than the parties' addresses, you can manually input that information by selecting Other. Delivery options. So there are a few postage options. Register post is recommended for the certificate to arrive secure and safely. You can now click on Register Marriage. Now that registration is complete of the marriage, you will receive a confirmation email letting you know that, and that the marriage will be registered as soon as possible. You can then proceed to Next. Before proceeding to pay for a certificate, you're required to read the terms and conditions and agree. So now you arrive at the Westpac Payway site. Similar to most websites, you'll need to enter your credit card information. And then click on Next to confirm that payment. So we'll now return to the home page. And as you can see now, you have no pending marriages, and the marriage we have just submitted now appears under recently submitted marriages. So that's how to create a new marriage record, submit the marriage record, and order a certificate. We'll go ahead and show you the Search and View Submitted Marriages page. So with this page, over time, the more marriages you register, the more you may utilise this page. You can search by the party surnames. If you're not sure which is party 1 and party 2 when searching, that won't matter because it'll search both in reverse. You also have the option to search by date range. So again, you may be looking at marriages that you've registered over a certain period, and you can actually enter the start and end dates to bring up those marriages. We'll have a look at the My Account page now. So just basic details that is held with births, deaths and marriages, and you have the ability to update those at any time. You also have the option to reset your password, and also you can update your email address. If you do update your email address, this will be the email address you use to log into the system. We'll go ahead and update some information. Save. A confirmation message will appear that your details have been updated, and also if you are a civil celebrant, you need to contact the Attorney General's Department, Marriage Law and Celebrants section, and update your details with them as well. So that brings us to the end of the demonstration. I hope it helps in some way, and we hope you enjoy using the system. Thank you.